In politics, framing changes everything. A policy isn't a tax increase, it's an investment in the future. A protest isn't chaotic, it's a passionate demand for justice. In personal relationships, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try, "I feel really heard" when you look up from your phone. It means a lot. That subtle reframing invites connection rather than defensiveness. Framing shifts energy, builds bridges, and keeps control of the narrative, all without a single lie. When you master framing, you stop reacting and start shaping outcomes. This technique starts small and ends with big results. It's based on the idea that people are more likely to agree to a large request if they've already said yes to a smaller one. A famous study showed this in action. Researchers asked homeowners to place a tiny sticker in their window supporting safe driving. Weeks later, they returned and asked if they'd install a large sign in their yard. Those who had agreed to the small sticker were much more likely to say yes to the big sign. Why? It's about self-image. Once someone sees themselves as the kind of person who supports a cause or helps out, they want to stay consistent. This works in everyday life too. At work, ask a colleague to review a quick paragraph of your report. Later, when you ask them to co-present with you, they're more likely to agree. You've eased them into the role of helper. In relationships, asking for small favors builds comfort and mutual investment. Start with, "Can you remind me about this tomorrow?" before asking, "Can you help me prep for the meeting?" It's not trickery, it's momentum. People like to feel helpful. Start small, and they'll often go further than you expected. Understanding techniques is only half the game. Influence becomes powerful when applied to the messy, unpredictable world of real life. Let's look at how these methods quietly shape everyday outcomes and how you can use them to your advantage. You're eyeing a promotion, but so are two colleagues. Instead of sending long emails listing your accomplishments, you take a different route. First, you anchor expectations. In a casual meeting, you mention that industry peers in similar roles earn higher salaries or manage larger projects. No demand, just a seed planted. Your manager now sees your request in a broader, more favorable context. Then you build consistency. Weeks before the promotion talk, you ask your manager for feedback on a small project and follow through perfectly. When promotion time comes, they've already mentally committed to the idea that you're reliable and growth ready. Lastly, you frame your ask as a benefit to the company. With expanded responsibilities, I could take pressure off the senior team and speed up delivery. It's not about what you want, it's about what they gain. Without ever making it about yourself, you've influenced the outcome. Influence isn't just for boardrooms, it plays out in bedrooms and dinner tables too. Let's say you want your partner to be more involved in household tasks. Instead of demanding change, you start with the foot in the door technique. You casually ask, "Can you take the trash out tonight?" They agree. A few days later, you ask for help organizing the kitchen. Now that they've helped once, their brain aligns with the idea. I'm someone who helps with household stuff. Over time, this builds momentum. You also use mirroring to reinforce connection. When they vent about a stressful day, you subtly reflect their words and energy, calm when they're upset, supportive when they need reassurance. This kind of emotional alignment builds trust, making future conversations about shared responsibilities easier. You're not manipulating them. You're creating space for mutual growth by understanding what makes them tick and speaking their language. You walk into a room full of strangers at a networking event. You want to make connections, but you hate sounding pushy. Here's where subtle influence becomes your secret weapon. First, you use mirroring. You spot a group where someone laughs easily and gestures openly, so you match their energy. You don't copy them exactly, but your pace, tone, and posture align. They unconsciously feel more at ease with you. Next, you use social proof. You reference mutual connections or shared experiences. "Oh, I think we both went to that last event downtown. It had that crazy line at the entrance." This signals, "I'm part of your world." It builds credibility instantly. Finally, you frame your conversation around value. Instead of saying, "I'd love to work together," you say, "I think there's a way our skills could complement each other on a future project." That small shift changes the tone from a request to a collaboration. Within minutes, you're remembered, not as another face in the crowd, but as someone they chose to talk to. Influence isn't about dominating situations. It's about guiding them with clarity, empathy, and intention. The more you practice in real settings, the more natural it feels, and the more powerfully it works. Influence becomes manipulation the moment it crosses the line from guiding to exploiting. Just because you can steer someone's decision doesn't mean you always should. Ethical influence respects autonomy. It doesn't override it. Consider a manager who uses anchoring to lowball a job candidate, knowing they're desperate. That's manipulation. But if the same manager uses anchoring to set a fair but strategic offer while remaining open to discussion, it's ethical influence. The difference lies in intent. Or take a romantic partner who uses reverse psychology to create jealousy. The goal isn't connection, it's control. That's toxic. But using mirroring to better understand your partner's emotions, that's empathy in action. The key question is, are you trying to help or to win? Influence should create mutual benefit, not emotional pressure. Even in sales, framing a product to highlight value is fair, unless you hide the downsides. Transparency keeps persuasion honest. Use these tools to build trust, not break it. Influence should empower both sides, making decisions easier, not trickier. When your intentions are clear, your tactics stay clean. And that's where true power lies, in influencing with integrity, not dominance. Influence isn't reserved for politicians, CEOs, or master negotiators. It's a tool anyone can use, quietly, ethically, and powerfully. You've seen how techniques like anchoring, mirroring, and framing work in real-life situations. You've learnt the psychology behind what makes people say yes, and how small changes in your approach can lead to major shifts in your outcomes. But now the question is, how will you use it? Will you influence to build trust, to create better conversations, and to shape a life where your voice actually matters? Because when used with integrity, influence isn't manipulation, it's leadership. If you found value in this video and want to keep learning strategies that put you back in control, I'd really appreciate your support. I'm working toward 1,000 subscribers, so hit that button if you haven't already. It means a lot. Thanks for watching.